showtime.
Ho, ho, ho!
Good morning, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV and Beat the Press, your one-stop shop for all the greatest and latest Manchester United news, transfer and takeover. Please, it is a Friday TGIF, but today's top stories we're going to talk about right now. The burning issues to Beat the Press is: number one, Manchester United have added Gonçalo Inacio as the priority list of centre-backs, according to Fabrizio Romano. Number two is Manchester United have approached Serhou Guirassy ahead of potential January transfer move. Juventus is also ready to welcome Sofyan Amrabat in the summer, who has been struggling at Manchester United. There's a report coming out to say that Erik ten Hag doesn't really want or fancy Sofyan Amrabat to be part of his squad. And also here we run Donny van de Beek departure over the coming days is expected to be announced on his loan move to Eintracht Frankfurt here in January. And also, as a final point, massive United takeovers news, as Glazers has no say in the decision in the Times. Guys, stick around, have a drink on your coffee, and we will be back in 10 seconds.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
I feel welcome. Dit is mijn home and I want to achieve success.
Good morning, people, or good afternoon. Welcome to BT Press. It's Mick Ruby here, together with Mark Nurse. He's not a doctor, he's a nurse. TGIF, it's Friday, 3 days out of Christmas. How you doing, Mark?
I'm pretty good, and I'm enjoying this first link on the first topic. Gonçalo Inacio, Mick. I think
God, yeah, I'll let you talk about it. Listen, how you all doing, people? How you feeling? Let us know. Are you in the Christmas mood? And how does it feel to be a Manchester United supporter? Basically, we're playing a game tomorrow, and then we're playing Boxing Day anyway. Guys, smash a like. I just want to shout you out, whoever made it to the stream so far. We have Dan Smith in the house saying good morning to everyone. How does it work? As we have got into, I have no sales. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. It's not funny. And we have Jarvis Cocker. We're going to address you, Dan, later on as well. Good morning, all. We have a jam-packed show to go over. Good morning to you, Jarvis. Red U is in the house as well, saying Gonçalo Inacio. We're going to talk about that. Gonçalo Inacio. And big up for coming in. Bigirwa Prita. I hope I didn't slaughter your name, my friend. Manchester United should first go for Todibo. Todibo, apparently, no, he's going to Spurs, according to Fabrizio Romano. What happened to that link where, everyone was saying everything is attached to, Sir Jim Ratcliffe at the moment? Everything, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Yes. Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Yes. Yep. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to fire people. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to do this. Or if Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in, he's Ineos. Todibo is niece owns Ineos. And how did that go? Press.
I don't
Beat the
know.
press. Mark, what happened here?
Well, what happened is Spurs made an early approach to Todibo, and apparently the takeover is taking so long, nothing's happening. So they're hoping to. I think Ten Hag is still hoping for Todibo, because there are some reports that Manchester United are still trying to, remain in the race for Todibo.
Yeah.
But this youngster that we're talking about right here today, Gonçalo Inacio, he's very, very good.
I can also refrain to songs in the Friday morning, like "Living on a Prayer" with John Bon Jovi. That's what it is. Like, we missed out in the. Remember summer? We were heavily linked in with what's his name?
Sassy,
Kim Min-jae.
We missed out on all the centre back transfers we wanted this summer. So
we're broke ass. This club is broke ass. They couldn't trigger it. And what happened? Bayern Munich just paid up the money. Boof. So this is exactly what happened with Todibo as well, I guess. But we're going to talk about.
Seems like that's going to be the case. It seems like that's going to be the case. Todibo seems to be in negotiations in advanced talks with Spurs right now at the moment, because Spurs have identified him and Postecoglou has seen what he liked, and they're going after him. So they don't know if he's going to actually agree to the contract. Remember, United has approached him many times last season. They've made open discourse with his agent. So He already knows of the interest by United. So let's see what happens. Let's see how it goes. But
okay, we're going to cover Goncalo. Yeah, we're going to cover Goncalo. But quickly, who is the better, Goncalo or Todibo?
Some people might hate me, but I think it's Goncalo.
Yeah, there we go. Let's move on. Goncalo. So don't cry for me, Argentina. You know what I mean? Compost Murph, good morning to you. Monitoring a summer bid FC back in January. 100% that what we was talking about. Gas. Taylor is here giving us gas in the early Friday morning. Scouting FC this January window. That's what it is. Potentially. We're going to talk about that as well. Mark Davis is here saying good morning to you, Mark. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark Davies.
And you also, Mark. So good morning to you, Mark. Box is here as well saying, what are you saying, Box? Are we signing Giancarlo? Who is Giancarlo? Is that his evil twin brother?
Giancarlo, but his name is Gonçalo Inacio. And
maybe John is his evil twin brother, like
probably
Jude Bellingham's brother, Job.
We also are interested in Job. There have been links that we've been speaking to his camp right now. So
apparently he's better than Jude. Apparently he's better.
I think so as well, guys. Like he's very interesting.
Interesting. Compost Merch. Apparently, Sir Jim is calling this shots already again. Yeah. Well, it depends. If you're going to the bar, you know, is he controlling the shots over there as well? Like, hey, shots.
Maybe he's doing a Richard Arnold. You know, Richard Arnold met with
buying the shots for everyone.
Yeah, shots on me.
Yeah. Good evening, Box. Good evening, 100 members. United staff losing the job when Sir Jim Ratcliffe takes control. Listen, that is a very alarming concern. You know, you remember this was the story going back, you know, months ago, like, you know, to do the 100 days review, and this applies to everyone. And the staff at United has been hanging on, living on a prayer. They don't really know what's going on. There's been no loyalty. Nobody's communicating to the staff if they have a job or not a job. But, you know, whoever comes in, takes over, there's going to be a 100 days review, performance review to see, you know, because we are turning the page, basically. We need an optimization. Like, we need the best-in-class people. And there's been too far more people hanging on that doesn't really belong there, like Darren Fletcher, you know, no pedigree CV whatsoever, jobs for the boys. So, yeah. Is yet to be seen, but nobody that are not the legal guardian of the club that hasn't really signed or the purchase agreement can do this. So relax. We will see. Ineos has invested in Spurs. Yeah, we know that. Mark Davis, what you're saying here, we are not buying any players in January. How we can buy players if we haven't got any money? Sell to buy, or there might be a surprise secret Santa coming in. Maybe.
No.
Maybe. Dave Taylor, morning to you, Dave. Hope every New Year finally get the Glazers gone. Yes. Good morning to you, Davey.
Good morning, Dave. Big up for that one.
If you have a Santa's wish list, I mean, that would be the priority on your Santa's wish list.
Top of the list.
Top of the list. Top corner. AK7 is here to say Glazers out. I agree. I'm not going to read your next one because of YouTube algorithm. Let's dive right into this story, my friend. Let's get it over the line here. According to the Center Devils, United has added Gonçalo Inacio as a priority top list as the center back, according to Fabrizio Romano. Talk to me, Mark. Yeah, I asked earlier, if you if you have chosen between Todibo and Gonçalo Inacio. I don't know much about this guy. Talk to us.
Well, he's from Portugal. He's 22 years old, and this youngster has been the best center back in Europe this season. And I repeat, he has been the best center back in Europe this season. He has played 13 of 14 Sporting League games this season, winning 56% of his ground duels, completing 70% of his dribbles, and achieving 88% passing accuracy.
Wow.
He's 100% successful.
88%? Did you say that?
88% passing.
Can you repeat those stats again, please, my friend?
56% winning on his ground duels, right?
Okay.
70% of completion of dribbles.
Wow.
And achieving 88% on passing accuracy. And this is in all competitions this season.
Wow.
Right?
Over 70 percentile in the passing accuracy, and plus winning his duels, defensively good on the ball, can go forward as well. Is that what we're saying here? Is that what we're seeing?
That's what we're seeing. And he has scored 2 goals this season in the Europa League, where he has 100% successful dribbling ratio.
How is his aerial duels, though? He's a good on the
he's one of the top aerial winners with a percentage of 78% winning in his aerial duels. And just know that, he's going to be costing us something like 51 million pounds. They would
Pounds
be
or euros?
reported euros, 51 million pounds. And that's his release clause.
But how much is that in euros? So is it 60 million euros in release clause?
60 million euro release clause. But they offered United a deal. They said they would be willing to accept installments if they could pay 38 million pounds as a down payment upfront. They pay that upfront, and the rest they will take in installments.
Hey,
however,
give me the phone. Hang on, John Murtaugh, do it. Come on, guys, donate as many super chats as you can here, or buy us memberships, and perhaps we can give the money to buy this guy over the line, guys. So
what makes this guy? Yeah, what makes this guy even more interesting that he's left-footed, but it's hard to tell which foot he favors the most. He can play left back, DM, right center back. He could also play left back as well. He also plays anywhere in the middle and left back, also central defensive midfield. So the guy is very, very talented, and he's one of the mainstays in the team. He's almost like the captain of Sporting right now. He leads the team. He's not actually wearing the armband, but he's one of the guys that you could see he's dictating to his teammates what's happening when the game is.
Apparently, he's on the top of the list now, according to the credible Fabrizio Romano. And he's the guru in this industry. Cannot deny. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong, but he's on the top of the list. And maybe that's the one that Ten Hag is looking for. Maybe that's the one that's why he's letting Todibo go, right?
Maybe. I think Todibo is very good as well. Todibo's stats not that much different. He's won 55% of all his duels this season. He's also has a 60% ratio in his progression forward with the ball. And Todibo has one of the averages that is really similar. He has 77% when it comes to his aerial duels won.
Yeah.
So I would think that like for like, they're not that much different. You know what I mean? It might be, if I can't get him, I can get him. And, which is whichever, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't be sad to lose to Todibo if we get Goncallo.
Well, Gas Taylor says it's not going to happen. But guess what? I have a thought process here. I rather take a Portuguese players from Portuguese league do exceptional well in the Premier League, but French players, they never do well, right? You get my point? Just look at Wolves. Everyone we recruited from Portugal, they adapt very quickly to the Premier League. You know what I mean? So I definitely look at that, and I definitely take it on board. And if it's 30 million, the question is, do we have the money? I mean, we'll be arguably looking to sell a lot of assets to buy. Centre back is the first priority that we need, together with the striker, 100%. Midfield, we're looking okay. But centre back, we need, strengthening. Lindelof is singing on his last word. Maybe they are doing a swap deal. Maybe they are shipping back Lindelof, because Lindelof played in Benfica before he came here as well. So maybe Lindelof will retire back in the Portugal league.
Maybe. You also have to keep in consideration that although Harry Maguire has been playing out of his skin so far this season and is one of our best CBs, he was up for sale in the summer. You never know if maybe there's been an exodus aligned at the club, and Maguire has been playing for, to put himself in the shop window. We know West Ham was interested. There may have been one or two other clubs that might have been interested.
Okay. VR room, let us know what you think. We will come back to your comments. We got to beat the press. The next hot on the news, it is the striker situation. It is no other than Serhou Guirassy. I can't even pronounce his name. Guirassy. What's his first name? Serhou. I don't know much about this player, but Manchester United they apparently approached Guirassy ahead of a potential January transfer move, Mark. But you live in Germany. You know much about the Bundesliga. You know about this player, right? So talk to us about Guirassy. Is he one of the better ones out of the three that we've been linked to, or potentially four? We're parking the Brazilian starlet because this is the one we want. We're talking about Marcos Leonardo. Maybe Manchester United is not mentioning because they don't want anyone to come and poach him in the January. So maybe they are linking us with this Bundesliga players, Timo Werner, Guirassy, and there was another player that I never heard of.
Well, the young Serhou Guirassy, like, he's 27 year old right now.
27.
This season, I think last season he had a decent season. I won't say he had his breakout season last season. I think he was doing a lot of things were working on inside, with him, because as you know, he's 27, so he's just matured really as a player, and last season, I think he was trying some things, but they weren't actually working, but he was working hard. You could see his work rate playing for Stuttgart. So they trusted him this season, and he's been on fire. He scored 5 goals in one game against Hanover, and it's been like, very good performance after very good performance. He's been getting everything right. Everything seems to be going his way this season. His performances against Bayern Munich, against Leverkusen, he's been playing really well. They played against Dortmund, and he's always been, if not their best player in the game, one of their top performers this season. So I think it's not a bad deal. You know what I mean? Because he's one of those robust strikers that he has he had a yard of pace.
Feel guilt. How much money?
15 million euros.
50? I don't think so, mate. For 50 million euros. 15. Okay, 15 million euros. You have another price bracket, which is the Brazilian striker, right? He's also available for 15. Marcos Leonardo. Of course, you go for Leonardo if it was your opinion. I don't know much about this player, but Box is saying, is Guirassy more than Dwight York or Kenwyne Jones? Wouldn't have a clue, mate. I never heard of him before.
I wouldn't even say Kenwyne Jones. I think Kenwyne Jones was a rubbish striker. Let's be honest. He's a Trinidadian striker that played for Southampton and Sunderland. Really, really famous because of Harry Redknapp turned him into a striker. He was actually a central defensive
deal.
midfielder.
Maybe it's a swap deal here to take place between Sancho and this guy. You can construct deals differently, because it's been reported that we are willing to sort of break Sancho's contract and just ship him off, and there's been reports that Borussia Dortmund is interested, Frankfurt is interested to take Sancho on. So maybe this is a straight swap, you never know.
And also, there are quite a few clubs interested in Sancho this season, as well as McTominay and Marcus Rashford. It's Barcelona is interested in Sancho as well, RB Leipzig. So there's quite a bit of interest in Sancho, and we may not get his full value back, but if we could get something in the area of 35-40 million for Sancho, I think that's 100% positive.
Yeah, because Gas Taylor is mentioning something very valid here, because we are under heavy scrutiny on the FFP. So I don't see us do much more than smart constructive deals. We're looking at the cheap market end, 50-20, maybe do a loan swap kind of thing. And that's the January window that I see. So you got to look at it with a critical eye, look at the finances, take it with a pinch of salt, whatever you're reading. We can be linked to Tom, Dick, and Harry, Stevie Wonder's Blind Dog and everything. But at the end of the day, we don't have money. That's the thing. Unless something drastic happens, right?
You never know.
Yeah, let's see what VAR's room is saying. Ivo Guirassy, half-season wonder in the German league at 27. No, thanks. And there's the point. Mark, I want to ask you as well. German players that come over to the Premier League have this very poor track record. Nobody has kind of succeeded ever. We had, who did we have in United? What was his name?
Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Schweinsteiger, that didn't work out whatsoever. He was just a money grabber, and that's the thing. You had Timo Werner. You had the flop that is at Arsenal at the moment.
Who did work though? Gundogan did really well.
Is it? I always thought he was Turkish, but he's like Gundogan. Yeah,
he's German. Came from Dortmund.
Yeah, Gundogan is probably the only one successful. I like Gundogan though. Really like Gundogan.
I think we got Shinji Kagawa as well. You know what I mean, from the Bundesliga. I think there's one or two players.
Japanese, and Endo is Japanese too, right? They're playing in the Bundesliga
as well. And I think the Bundesliga is hard. I think it's based on the player, because the league is we definitely did, man.
That didn't
I'm not
work
even
out
gonna lie. I agree with Campos 100%. I just think that with Serhou Guirassy, my concern with him is that last season it was like looking at Højlund. You know what I mean? He worked hard. He bagged 1 or 2 goals here or there in a cup, but he wasn't really doing much. But this season is like his breakout season. You know what I mean? Okay. The only argument I would say in his favor is that he's mature. He knows what it is, what it's like. to have to work hard and the goals aren't coming. He knows, and from the way the rate that he's scoring this season, you know what I mean? It seems that he learned his patience last season. He knows when to make the runs. He knows when to, what he needs to do to get himself in the position. So
yeah. Sane
know what
was
I mean?
decent as well, by the way. Sane decent, but didn't work out. Pep didn't like him, shipped him off to Bayern, and that's the way the cookie crumbles, guys. Timo Werner, that rumors won't go away. That's probably a January loan deal. Would you take Timo Werner or just say nah?
If I had a choice between loaning Timo Werner and getting either Serhou Guirassy or Marcos Leonardo, I wouldn't loan Timo Werner. If Timo Werner is the only option, then of course I would take him because he's.
And another option is of course he's one of ours. He's doing well in Getafe.
Yeah, and like I would like
number 11 Greenwood.
Yeah, I would have him back 100%. I would not want to see him go and start for Real Madrid or Barcelona or Atletico Madrid. I would not. I would shudder to think that he goes to Chelsea or he goes to City or Liverpool or another big club in the Premier League and then comes and bangs goals against us. You know what I mean? I think that would hurt more than taking one on the chin and giving him and forgiving him for the mistakes he make as a teenager.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
For me, I want him back today if I could have him back today. But at the same time,
take him back in January, definitely.
My first concern is that I don't know how he feels. You know what I mean? Because you have to remember
that's
he
the question.
grew
You
up
gotta
at
ask
the
the
club.
player how you feeling, right? How you feeling?
How he feels because
you're a father now. You have responsibilities. You settle down in Spain. You've been there for 6 months, enjoying the vida loca down there. Maturity, maybe keep into the summer, let him play, let him grow, 100%. But from a footballing aspect, he's one of our assets. He's still under contract. There's a clause in the contract we can bring him back in January. We're not spending any money. I can see United doing something like this to bring him back. This is just the way they operate.
I could also say to myself, some people might hate me for this, but I'd give him the number 7 when I bring him back. I think he's the only player that shows that shows he deserves it besides Garnacho, and I think he would have the maturity and the experience now.
It might be a sensible topic. It might be a sensible topic, but we are here to provide a balanced approach, opinions, right? There is a minority with the moral compass that don't like him back because what they heard on the tapes and stuff like that. We talked about this before, but at the end of the day, reality, he's still unemployed by Manchester United. He's still out on loan. And it doesn't cost us anything. We need a striker. And Aramo is saying, forget about Werner, forget about Guirassy, etc. We have Greenwood. He's one of the best ballers that came out of the academy. He's balling out in Spain and better than our whole attack combined. So why wouldn't you take it back if you love the club, if you want the team to score? Forget about everything else. Just look at the pitch, look at the performance, and this is the way I look at it. I would take him back in a heartbeat. No worries at all. That's my opinion and my opinion alone.
My 100% thing is that the one thing I will always say to people might have different contentions about it, but the initial idea, the genuine interest of sport is to help people achieve themselves, to find themselves the best, to be the best that they can be. So sport has always been something that is globally known to reform people. It accepts everyone, whether you had a past that was, checkered or not. If it's squeaky clean, football is the one thing where you can be your true self. Sports in general, I should say.
So, Mark, but we're a little bit of a squeaky bum time. January window is opening. 100%. We know that we are tight for cash. And this is the story. What I'm saying, Eva Box, Eva is saying, I'd go Sancho, Højlund, Greenwood instead. Garnacho just lacks that intelligence to do the right thing. Garnacho is still learning, my friend. And apparently, Greenwood has been playing a lot on the right wing in Getafe, what my understanding, and I've seen clips what he's doing great things. The only issue that I had when he was playing at United, he was just not a pure proper right winger. He was cutting in a lot because he wanted to play the central forward role.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even mind that, to be honest, right? Because when if you look at his movements, right, he's actually, I think with his experience, I think it would help Højlund, right? I would like Højlund to be our premier striker. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Right now, I think Mason Greenwood through the middle and you might start him with Anthony and Garnacho. He would
What
all
about
four of them
What about
would
Greenwood as a
level
number
up
10?
based on his
What
quality.
What about Greenwood as a 10 behind the? Can that work?
He's too attacking. He's not really one of those
attacking,
players that holds the midfield. Like he
But
likes the
imagine
role to
him
roam.
behind. Imagine him behind. Højlund. He's 2-footed. This guy can lick and play as well. And imagine there's tic-tac plays right between them.
Yeah.
Both attacking, or play two attackers in the front. Right?
Might be something like that. But I think he comes in and he either goes off the left or the right, or even maybe through the middle. I think this is the fluid front line that the manager was talking about ahead of the season. With Greenwood, he could play anywhere in front.
Yeah. He takes on the players. He takes on the players.
And not only that, but his ability makes everyone better.
All right, then. But Box is saying if Greenwood is settled down now, he seems to be keeping a low profile in Spain. Yeah, 100% keeping his head down, just doing the work, being a father. I respect that. If it looks positive, talk to his family, girlfriend, and then all good. Surely no-brainer to bring him back. But you know what? The ones that cast the first stone is the sinner, right? That's, if you're going to be biblical, right? There's still the moral compass, but even if a person is innocent, it's been proven in the jurisdictional system, the club has done the research, but people are already voted. Like, you already passed them guilty, but you're not guilty. You know what I mean? It's that moral compass. You got to get that out of your head. Look at reality. United are broke. What Almac is saying, United broke. I doubt there will be any January transfer. Yes, and that means that we are transitioning to the next story, people. We are talking about the outs. Oh my daisy. Juventus are ready to welcome Sofyan Amrabat, has been struggling at Manchester United. The paper talk is out there to say that Ten Hag doesn't really fancy him. They are, the story. We put down 10 million and we have an obligation to buy. And the paper is talking that just in case in the summer, if don't fancy Sofyan Amrabat, there's a lot of clubs interested in. Juventus is one of them, right? Have you read this paper talk story?
Yeah, I read that
Even
article.
Sky Sports
they're piggybacking on the fact that he has had no preseason, as well as the fact that United has been struggling and he has himself struggled one or two games. You know what I mean? They left out the fact that he played very well in a couple of the games that he started. He was very instrumental in the midfield, and you know what it is. It's one of those things where they play on the negative emotions of people and the susceptibility, because you never know what the Manchester United boss is actually thinking right now. This is a new player into the squad who is just starting to bed himself into the team.
Okay.
He's only played what?
Let me just dive into the story. Yeah, let me just dive quckly into the story. What it says here. It even comes from Sky News, Sky Sports as well. Amrabat struggles. United had to pay £8.5 million as a loan fee to sign Fiorentina star, with the option to make a permanent for 21.5 million though. Casemiro struggled to shield the backline effectively. He got injured, and therefore we did a loan signing Sofyan Amrabat. However, now they are even talking, though, Mark, that potentially we are looking to sell Casemiro in his twilight to Saudi or to the Bundesliga, whatever. So I personally believe, this is my opinion though, Sofyan Amrabat is younger. He's got plenty left in the tank. We see the development, Kobe Mainoo. So I don't see this happening. AC Milan has already been linked to him, right? According to what they say. Juventus wants Amrabat. They're willing to pay for 20 million to give that money. But I would say that this is such a cheap one. And I agree with you. He didn't have a preseason whatsoever. He waited the whole summer for United to pull the trigger. United promised they're going to buy him. At the end of the day, we didn't have money. We offer a scandalous deal to say, well, okay, we pay you 8.5 and 21 in the summer, with the obligation to buy, though. So I want to hear from you. Casemiro has been injured. He's back on the grass. It looks like he's going to be sold in the summer. Was a paper of the crack because we can get Frankie de Jong. But Frankie de Jong, arguably to say that Ten Hag found Kobe Mainoo. He found Frankie de Jong and Kobe Mainoo, and that is the future. That's what he's building block on. But he needs somebody older and experienced playing next to him. So who would you choose then? Would you believe that Amrabat is going, or Amrabat played under Ten Hag before in Utrecht? He's a professional.
I mean, Amrabat is a good player. I think he hasn't shown his best form yet at Manchester
Not yet.
United
He's
because he
adapting to the
hadn't had a
league.
preseason, so I'd give him that. But I don't think I'm not too sure how the manager is going to do things. In my opinion, I think he should be kept because I think he would provide that solidity. Even if he doesn't start, I think he would help develop Kobe, not only Kobe Menu, but in the likes of Dan Gore Jr. and even Hannibal.
Yeah, true. You need
Hannibal
somebody
mostly,
experienced, yeah,
because I
professional.
think I think the way Sofyan carries himself, I think it would do well for Hannibal to learn from him. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
would make Hannibal better. But
I don't believe in this story because Ten Hag fancied him. Ten Hag begged for him. Ten Hag wanted him, and they have a special relationship. Like, he's praised his work ethic, his mentality. Amrabat only wanted to play for Ten Hag in the summer. He was doing strikes. He only wanted to play for Manchester United. So I don't believe it. How can Eric Ten Hag not fancy Amrabat? Wasn't he pushing for the club to sign him? According to Al Mack is saying as well. And I believe that is just paper talk. So we got to call a spade here, call it BS, to be honest, right?
100%.
Eva was to say, I'd rather have Paulinho, and I agree. Paulinho is a good player. We will see what happens in the summer. James Warrington is here in the house as well. Big up, Jamie. How you doing, man? If she dropped the case, then he's innocent, unless you believe in the guilty until proven innocent. Yes, that's backtracking to Mason Greenwood, to be honest. So, to summarize, is this paper talk BS? Is it more clickbait stuff?
There's definitely a pinch of salt. On 100%.
No, but it could be interest. Definitely,
no,
I believe that. Yeah,
it is.
I believe that.
The only thing I think, though, Mick, is that it's possible that maybe Dan Gore Jr. or maybe another youngster has caught Ten Hag's eye in training recently, and maybe that might be like, okay,
but it
this
might
guy
be,
could offer what Amrabat offer. Are we going to keep him
but
past, or are we going to let him develop this player?
just conscious of time, Mark, so we can talk about this later. We got to move on as well. So I'm just want to tie this story up. It might be the case that there has been interest from clubs knowing, just in case you're not going to keep him, Mark. So there's interest because he played in Serie A before. Everyone knows in Serie A that he's so good, but he's still finding his legs in Premier League. Would you agree with that? Like, he's trying to adapt to the league. 100%. So it's first season, so drop it like a bomb. Mark, I want to go to the next story as well, and that comes down to, let me see. Wow, Wawariva. Congratulations. Here we run. Here we go, or whatever you call it. Here we sprint. Donny van de Beek. Announcement coming soon, Romano says. Big up. Yeah. He's completed his medical. He's going to play for Frankfurt, Eintracht Frankfurt. And this is a loan with an obligation to buy in this summer, right?
100%. I think it's great for both accounts. Like, in my honest opinion, he didn't get his chances at Manchester United for whatever reason we don't know. Then last season, when he was about to get his chance, he got that lengthy injury. I have to say I feel sorry for Donny van de Beek, but I think Eintracht Frankfurt is going to get a very good player that's probably going to be the best player in their team going forward, and I think he's going to do well, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Are we getting any money for his loan fee? Because apparently Van de Beek will join the Bundesliga outfit on an initial half-season loan, which Frankfurt and United will discuss whether the transfer will be made permanent in the summer. A fee of 50 million euros or 30 million pounds, including add-ons, has been included in the terms, though it's not mandatory. So
it's not mandatory. Yeah, the initial loan fee is something like 5 million euros initially. So that just for the period, the half-season loan was 5 million euros. And if based on performances and how many games he plays, the loan will be permanent. So he can make it a permanent loan with his performances. So if his performances are really good,
right, I just feel sorry for the lad. Feel sorry for this lad. Manchester United destroyed his career. He was such a talent under Ten Hag. All he didn't fancy him. We know the story. He never played. He apparently played 6 Premier League starts since he joined Manchester United. That 100%. Is disgraceful. Rushmano, what you're saying here, the 5 million add-ons, Mason Mounts, plus 55 million plus 5 million more to Manchester United means they will have to make a 1 million payment every time Mount plays. What? That is a madness. Did you understand this?
Yeah.
So in his contract, in the player's contract, they will pay him 1 million payment every time Mount plays 70% of all his games in the winning season during his 5-year deal. according to Laura Whitwell. This is mad, right? This is like a bonus KPI. Oh, I don't want to
so
talk
like
about
if he plays 70% of the games in the season and the team wins a title, he has to get $1 million.
Yeah. And could it be that deliberately that they they know who gets the bonus and they are stints to this? Like, you're not playing. Sit down. That's why we're playing Scotty Mac, because he doesn't have it in the contract. Maybe he has. I don't know. He doesn't have the stipulation in the clause. Good morning, Jarvis Cocker. Buddy, how you doing? Amrabat is adjusting to a new culture, language, food, climate without the support of network of friends and family. Let him give him a time to settle in. I believe we'll find his stride very soon. 100%
Yeah, it's
what
just
I
like what I'm
believe
saying.
too.
What you're saying.
100%. Kenneth Hogarth, what you're saying here, Mount is not good enough to play for United. We haven't seen much. I mean, I'm just disappointed. Like, why did we sign him and he's injured? He hasn't really have a sniff on the ball as of yet. He comes back, he's plays 2 games injured. Like, what a shock signing. I think it's been a horrendous signing, and I don't see it as of yet. But it's too early to judge. He might come good. Unlike say Mason Greenwood should never have been charged in the first place. She told the process to drop the case in April, and they didn't charge him until
That's
October.
100% true, by the way.
100% true. Yeah, 100% true. All right then. Cool. So big luck. Good luck for Donny van der Beek. You deserve it. Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek. La 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 la. And I think the German Bundesliga will love him, and it's a good place to play. Frankfurt is not a bad team, according to my opinion.
And they dropped Bayern 5-1.
Yeah. Last but not least, people, we are going to talk the takeover. We are going to talk about the takeover. And if you see this one, this is our website. It's not live, just showing you a sneak peek. So we have news on the website. We have a lot of things, but so basically I'm taking this straight from the website. Massive United takeover news. Glazers have no to say in the football decision, according to the Times. We've seen it before. Statements came out. There's been speculations after the Super League. The statement came out so fast to say they're taking a stance against the Super League, Europa Super League, and some speculation saying if this was the Glazers, this is never the Glazers that wrote this statement, Mark. What's your thoughts and opinion on that? This is a club that's talking, somebody else behind the scenes talking. Glazers reportedly wanted the Super League. Glazers are money hungry. And this statement was not a Glazman statement. That's what a lot of people read.
100%. But at the same time, I think with the riots that happened in 2022, when they protested profusely against the Super League, I think the Glazers, maybe not just the Glazers, the board may have thought to themselves, we could lose this fan base. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, the Europa Cup, the UEFA is tied intrinsically with Manchester United. Manchester United, we had the Munich disaster. I think it's like it's part and parcel with the history of UEFA itself.
Yeah.
So it's woven together. We have an obligation to them. They have an obligation to us. So in a way, I think, we would always stay true to that at the end of the day. As much as the Glazers love money, they could still get that same money from UEFA because we are one of the most important teams in their competition, even though we haven't won it in years.
Okay. I'm just reading the report here, basically coming in from the Times. Matt Dickinson's screen saying, after months of dragging and crawling, an extremely reliable outlet has finally spoken up on Sir Jim Ratcliffe's takeover, 25%. An extremely reliable outlet. I mean, they are co-tweeting, aggregating from other news sources, and that's what they're doing here. Matt Dickinson from the Times reports that the deal is finalized to 25%. The deal to finalize the 25% stake in Manchester United was in final negotiation this evening. That was last night, though. But the thing is, it's not about negotiation. It's normal practice when you are taking a bid. It is the communication between the lawyers, solicitors. What about this? What about that? What about this? It's still negotiations. So the deal is not far as advanced what they are saying, basically. When they're saying ratify, this is so complex. What about 25%? How are we going to, please the stakeholders, right? X, Y, Z. So they basically put the proposal in just before, I think it was before the financial meeting the quarterly financial meeting report, and ever since then they've been negotiating this structure, like, you know. But the press is kind of reporting it like it's a done deal, like it's that. But it's all about, like, you know, he bought himself time to put a new structure of the bid of 25%, and now that's been discussed back and forward between Ineos, between what do you call it, Rain Group, it's what XYZ, and that's what it is. At the end of the day, everyone is waiting for a feedback, right? 92 Holding Foundation's bid has been on the table for months. They just said we're walking away from this process, meaning we're not going to bid anymore. So basically, they've been working with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. There is no exclusivity. There's 2 bids on the table, and that's the way I see it, Mark. How do you see it?
Well,
is it more of a?
I'm just gonna say this one bit of information because it was really interesting to me when I read about it. And one of the biggest problems in Jim Ratcliffe getting approval from the Premier League is his investment in Spurs. So that is one of the major conflicts that is a problem with him and his takeover moving forward. So a lot of the issue may just be that they're trying to figure out that, because I think
there's a lot of things you got to figure out, and there's a lot of things, like, you know, what about the NDAs? What Kenneth Hogarth, exactly what I'm saying here on this channel all the time. You know, they were signed, but the thing is, we've spoken about this so many times. It's getting repetitive. Ineos is using external PR camps. Ineos is using intermediates. Ineos is paying lawyers, external lawyers, and these people they leak information, and sometimes positive PR, free branding by being attached to Manchester United, and reckless sports journalists that have no idea what business sense, you know, how a proper takeover is taking place. They're treating it like a transfer window. It's not possible. Basically, they bought themselves time. They got the 25% in, and now it's been banging the drum. They've been banging the drum, milking this to the end, basically. So what I'm trying to say here, you got to go through the Premier fitness test, and that's what you talked about. You know, you cannot buy the club on debt, or you cannot buy with the loan. It's got to be from your own asset. And if you're going to go for 100% phased buyout within 3 years, you got to prove proof of fund. It's so much complicated, right? That's step number 2. Number 3 as well. Hang on. Number 3 is to please and get approval for all the board members. You know, depending on, like, you know, you still see the legal challenge for Lindsay Train, Bowen Group, and Arias, and all the minority investors. And that money that he's putting down, 25%, it's just been a phantom figure report by the press. We don't really know if it's 25% is buying Class A and Class B shares. It might be 50%. We don't know. But anyway, if it's only like buying out the Glazers, that means that the money does not go into the club whatsoever. It just goes to the Glazer pocket. And that is a big problem, because we are desperately in need. Our cash reserves are down to the bare minimum, right? And that's why we have a balanced scorecard where our debt is about 1 billion and we are making this much in profit. And that's where we are in trouble with FFP. So I don't see this happening, right? And fourth and last but not least, also the announcement to New York Stock Exchange needs to take place, because we are financially listed according to SEC. And then I think it will be announcement through the club website. So that process alone, it's not next Monday. It's not by Christmas, right? Unless it's happening behind the scenes and we don't know. But somebody is leaking out this positive Secret Santa news on purpose, right? And I believe that somebody is gaining a lot of PR traction from this one. And that is Ineos itself. Because who knew who Ineos was 1 year ago? Nobody, right? Now everyone knows Ineos sports cycling team, the Formula One. Everyone knows about Nice and who owns the Nice. It's positive PR, people, right? 100%. But that's just the way I see it. You know, that's my opinion, and my opinion alone. You know, it's not news. It's just the way I see it. What do you reckon, Mark? You have something to say regarding this? I see you prepared something down here.
The only. Well, I'm just gonna leave this right here. This is the last bit. Just a quick, you know, introduction here. The Super League. Everyone knows that it's trying to come back. They know the new proposition. They've been granted approval by the European Court of Appeals, and basically the Super League has a structure where it supports 64 teams. It's going to have three. It's going to be 3 different leagues, right? There's going to be promotion between each league. the main league is Star, which will feature all the elite teams like Real Madrid and Bayern Munich and so forth. If they were to join, it would be 16 teams in 2 groups of 8. Each team would be required to play at least seven games a season, basic 7 games away and then 7 games at home. So that's 14 games. Then there's another group called Gold that will feature 24 teams. That would be like their Europa League version. You know what I mean? Same principles apply. 1 game home or 1 game away. And then there's the same thing for the last group, which is called Blue, that has 32 teams in it. And it's going to run with 4 groups of 8. And they're going to have to play the same 7 games away and 7 games home each before they go up into their knockout phases, respectively. And although Manchester United, Liverpool, and a host of other clubs have shown solidarity with UEFA and, made their statements denouncing the Super League yesterday with the announcement.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
The biggest concern for Manchester United fans should be the fact that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has done business with Bernd Rijkaard before, who is the leader of the Super League venture, and they think that they can sway him.
822, yeah, Bernd Rijkaard.
They think they can sway. They think they have enough pull to sway Jim Ratcliffe.
Okay. Well, this is a story. This is a podcast by itself. There's so much to unpack on this one. But we saw immediate resistance yesterday, Mark, to be honest. We did saw a lot of resistance. And I think we're running a little bit over the time, Mark. We are doing the managers' press conference. Maybe we can cover that later in the managers' press conference, mate.
100%.
Yeah. I just want to bring something to the stage. I just want to promote a little bit because we are getting very, very close, guys. The MUFC Realist TV website is up and coming, very live. I'm just going to do a little bit sneak peek. This is absolutely smashing, beautiful. You will see everything regarding Manchester United. You're going to pick the teams, vote polls, man of the matches, and everything. Going to disclose a little bit in the Christmas party tonight as well, guys. So tune in later on. Me and Mark will be back later on for the managers' press conference. I think it's starting at
1:45.
quarter to 1. Quarter to 1 UK, right? So we'll be live as per usual. We didn't do it last time. And in the evening, 8 p.m. UK time, I think it's set for 8 p.m. UK time. We're going to have the Grinch Christmas party call-in show as well. So we're going to have a little bit of chill, relaxed Christmas party. Thank everyone that's been tuning in. Thank everyone that's been supporting the channel. We just hit 20,000 subscribers, as you can see. And we had a mad rush the other day when somebody was gifting us, including Rushmane and all the legends in the house. I've never seen it before. I think it's a record in the YouTube live streaming. 110 new members gifted in 10 minutes. That is insanity. Big up to everyone. Thank you guys for watching. Great show as per usual, Ken Hogwarts is saying. And great co-host Mark here as well. Mark,
thank you very much, guys.
At least I'm sitting so far away from you, so you can't give me an uppercut from where you're sitting. Right?
Why would I give you an uppercut, Mick?
Really?
But Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope all of you have a great day today. I know it's Friday and a lot of people might be getting in their Christmas shopping, finishing their last rounds of work. Some people have long days. Hope you have a nice day, guys.
Yep. Until then, see you till next time, people, and see you at the Christmas party, 8 o'clock UK time. That's all, folks, for now. Big up, big up. See you later. Bye for now. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Glazers are green and gold until resolved. Bye. Ciao. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.